good it is for me to know that you are there participating virtually in our Expo Genetic. Welcome to our Zebu house. And you are very special, and your participation is really important for us too. And at this time, we would like to share with you more information that is very, very important for you in your country to be able to develop cattle raising, innovation, competence, and sustainability with what we try to do here in Brazil. And for that, I have here a 10 grade 10 that is participating here with us. They are the new participants of the Brazilian cattle, and we have an enormous satisfaction to show you Fazenda Floresta or Forest Farm. Dr. Roberta Bertin, welcome. She is the owner and the vet from Fazenda Floresta. Paulo Simões, the technical vet of Floresta Farm, and Juliano Villar, who is the manager of Fazenda Floresta, and Dr. Camila Frade, who is the vet of the Embryo Lab. Welcome to our live, to our Zebu home. We have a lot of satisfaction and a pleasure to have you as a part of the Brazilian cattle. We already know that you do a great work and that guarantees to the international buyer to receive the best product possible in their country. And the best Zebuan genetics need to reach you, right? So I'm going to pass the floor to you, Dr. Roberta. You are welcome in our house. And please present all of this development, all of this evolution, and the quality of your work, both for our public and also to anywhere else in the world. So have a great live. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here and to tell you our story, our genetics, our selection, our protocols to deliver to everyone what's best for the Zebuan genetics. And we have many people in the market. We were evolving with time doing the selection and the multiplication. At the time, we had initiated the Nelore race, and now we focused in the milk selection. In 1998, we created an in vitro laboratory, and from then on, our reproduction of these animals of the best genetics are done in this laboratory that is part of the Fazenda Floresta. We attend to not only ourselves but other producers all over the world that want to multiply through this technique, the evolution. And if we compare the in vitro and the artificial intelligence, we get there 10 years of genetic improvement. This is one of the works that we develop in the farm. And from 2020 on, we have installed in the property an clinical analysis of the for vets for small and for big animals in the sanitary in the health security area, and it should be complete for a vet clinic for these animals, and it serves to our animals and breeders all over the world and Brazil that can send that to us. We know that the selection needs to be done for the well-being of the animals and also health security. Some demands are asked, and this needs to be done in the best way possible. So this was really important. This is one of the criterias for us to use that, and this laboratory came to help in the creation and the evolution and the perfection of our chain there. And from 2019 on, we felt the need to really see that in the market, the representation of more than 20 items of portfolio in the area of agribusiness to great animals that is used in the forest farm. We have many representatives in the state of São Paulo to do this delivery, and all of this control is done not only in medications but in animal nutrition. So the complete farm for the producers of Brazil and in the international breeders, it's important as well. So our technical part, it's besides all of the protocols that we have there of the different vets, I've brought here one of the pillars that we have needs to, which is this part of nutrition. The good producer needs to be someone that cultivates well as well. And together we know this type of work that is done, and Paulo is there with me daily. And I'm going to tell you how we do this great production of milk that currently has 15,000 liters.
That's it, Roberta. We're going to talk about the system, the breed that we work with, and the results that we're getting, right?
So before we start speaking to Paulo Simões, let's show a video, an institutional video of the farm.
To conceive a business is to be filled with capacity. In any market, the watershed starts with these simple parts in the simple of the flowing, and they become established. And after that, the reception and the understanding that talent and discipline are a combination that are very powerful, is very powerful. Such combination, if together, will make a dairy industry. Floresta Farm is the forest area of a sustainable project. Without destroying, it dedicates without exploiting. And in order to do that, it studies and develops a lot more than a work concept. It is a project of engagement and, above all, respect. Feel the complexity of every challenge because this challenge implements a culture in the farm. Producing milk is precision. Each udder is a reservoir that we want always to be full, but we have to respect. To become your system profitable, to reduce risks. And the farm Floresta made science and technology and innovation premises to grow. To produce efficient cows without scale, and the genotyping of the herd allows us to understand the productive capacity of each individual, assessing hundreds of animals, selecting, focusing on production and milking capacity. Cows that are capable and qualified to have superior progeny, to multiply. A farm that is complete, positive, sustainable. We're moved by challenges, but our turbines are our customers. Fazenda Floresta, sustainable genetics.
The Lins city that is being done with the farm is at the northeast of São Paulo at 400 meters of altitude. It's a challenge because it's very hot there, and we have around 1,400 millimeters of rain as well. They are adapted to our region, and we are able to do the best of this genetics for the production of milk. So we would like to ask for the next video for you about genetic selection.
Is the result of a profound study of milking activity.
I have graduated in vet med, and I've always worked with big animals with a focus of reduction.
Focusing on milk and genetics, we went after the main references.
These different properties and saw the efficiency and what was the best productive system. This way, we were able to see that we needed more irrigation for this type of milkery, and we've noticed that produce milk.
We realize that producing milk and pasture represents the reality of most rural properties in the country, and that genetic improvement would help, and it has an invaluable potential.
The cow produces a lamb, which is a milk that goes beyond the calves, and they can produce milk with a lot of quantity and great quality.
Cows of Floresta farm are conceived to produce milk in great amounts and high quality milk. They are raised with care and proper handling and using technology from the fertilization.
Now we have the MDA, which is the administration of the milkery, with the process being well explained for people, and people feel that they're owners of these animals and they want to improve the the genetic, and they make a huge difference for us.
The production of the young cows of Girolando is superior to the national average. Beyond the milk, the genetic consistency makes it possible to have superior cows and a philosophy aligned with the interest of new generations, modern cattle breeding, efficient and profitable. Floresta Farm, genetics that is sustainable.
A little bit about our story and how we do our selection. And to have the improvement of the genetics, we need to also have the improvement of the feeding of the animals according to the need of each one of their ages. And for that, we have Paulo. Tell us a little bit about what you do in your daily activity. Tell us a little bit about the routine of production of this food and the people that deal with that every day.
Yeah, when I started working here with Roberta, she was very clear. We want to work with half-blood and pasture cows. And so that was the challenge that we had. So we are in a place that is very hot in our region, so we wanted to produce pasture. So we had to produce the best pasture, and we needed pasture rotation as well, and especially the fertilizers and proper handling of this pasture, and for us to have the best pasture possible, to be able to for the cow to respond in the best manner possible. And that was easy then, because the selection of gears that we have here, gear cows, breed, they have very high production, and they're answering really well, and they're responding well, and gear, how did you select it so well, Roberto?
We acquired them by the best selectors in the country, and we've multiplied this genetics. And one thing that I've learned, and I always ask, what do you have of best? What is the reference? We go to the auctions to acquire the best in the market, knowing the reference of what is the best, to have so many good results. Because what we've seen there is that we got 120, 128 calves, and to reproduce that in what we have the most is the evolution of the production of Girolando and the milk producing.
Yes, for us who are nutritionists, that made it a lot easier, because now we have averages of 25, 26 liters of water, milk per cow, and in a herd of over 250 cows. So, and they're free and center pivot. So this was the combination of this handling and the half blood was very good, right?
That was done in the middle of the country, and it's what the tropical countries look for, right? A cow that is able to reproduce in several properties, and that is a model of reference. And the production of this food is something that when we study this for many different slots, is that the challenge that we have is how to reach this goal in the cow, And for that, we depend on what the way that we treat people, and that is a big factor. And I know that you control people for that, right?
Yes, in spite of talking about milk and pasture, it's not just talking about this. It's a very important work considering this handling. And we also have the cooling, right, Roberto, from using the pivot to improve the environment for the animal and drinking fountains and to have drinking water and clean, okay? And to try and move them without shouting in a more relaxed way. So there is a proper handling, and for this to happen.
Our production of pasture and our measurement, the way that it's done in the beginning of the year. Comment a little bit how we have this capacity of managing the pasture really well and the difference between the good managed pasture and the ones that are not.
If we get the Brazilian average, it's around one way for a hectare. And we got 15, 16 per hectare. And in winter, we get the oat and and uh, and we have the cattle in the past, right? Pasture, right? So we got 7, 6 per hectare. So whenever it's dry and cold, we even get very high numbers.
Of Tifton, right? 85, which is something that is
Yeah, oatmeal stands out because Tifton gets more slow, and oatmeal usually stands out.
being more spread. Talking about people, let's call for the other video about the internship and how we organize ourselves day to day, and call Juliano as well, who works directly in this process in the farm.
How to make a farm that is specialized in production of milk in each stage and of the production, how to minimize the risks and potentialize the opportunities, and to make threats leverages for growth. In the first chapter, we talked about the unmeasurable power of genetics. Allied with nutritional planning that is adequate, you can see your cows have huge jumps in production. But the key factor of Floresta Farm are the keys. I graduated in veterinarian medicine in 2013 after I started working here as an intern, and for me it was an opportunity to work here. And for me, I'm learning a lot here, and I'm very grateful to Roberto because we leave college and we learn there, and we learn here too. If the project is a farm that is highly efficient, it was necessary to have a team of professionals that are multidisciplinary and engaged and constant evolution. The quality of the milk, we worry a lot about it. We make this milk very good. The data of the milk quality, CCS, we have 258, protein 3.380, and the fat 4.1. A very good standard. With genetics, nutrition, sanitation controlled, and proper handling, we created a production system in which all parts involved grow. A passport to live in the new time. Floresta Farm has jumped ahead. Floresta Farm, sustainable genetics.
Now, for this person that is dealing with the persons and collaborators in the farm every day is Giuliano. He is here with us and he can tell a little bit about their story, all of the courses that we do, all of the courses that we offer, and how people understand that. You can tell us a little bit of your story.
We know the importance that people have within the process of the farm, a farm that generates a lot of opportunities for people who are starting, and it's a farm that is concerned with the people that are working here. And to give them conditions for them to grow and to find out what can be improved in each process. It's no use to have a good nutrition, and if we don't have a worker that is willing, that feels how important it is within this process. He has to be grateful and feel pleased to do that in the way that it should be done. So Roberta always tries to give us courses and presents new techniques for all of the areas in milking and personnel management. I believe that is a very important factor for me to bring this in all of the processes and to show why she's there.
And within all of these processes that we are evolving in every day, it is important to also highlight that in all of the steps, what happens is before the cow goes to this session, we have a place and there are people that can prepare themselves to be ordained. So one of the importance that we see whenever we do the milking process is that this animal is already well taught and he doesn't give any issues to the person that is buying that. So we have all of the steps taught really well for the animal to learn. So the he gives birth, and then the calf go to the place in the maternity for them to really guarantee that the calves are going to continue being well cared for and to become a future milk cow. And then they go to the tropical school where they become the dealt with the people that manage these cows and that make them efficient and gain weight and get pregnant again. And when they get the right weight in the reproduction phase, it's protocol to receive new embryos. And since we do our reproduction 100% in the farm, any animal becomes a receptor. So they go through the entire process to get this management and diet of preparation. So the entire cycle is count with different teams and they have this training. So one of the things that I joke around there is that we have a milking phase that has enough quantity to all of the cows. We have a software for all of these animals, and I think it's really important to have this industry in the field. And that is a factor that is fundamental to manage all of the steps and all of the processes of what we have there. So knowing how to manage that because a milking system should not never stop and it runs 24/7. The cow is always giving birth. The calves need this milk that we get from the mother, and the management of people inside with the animals is 24 hours every day, 365 days a year. So all of the steps are well controlled so that this harmony is given throughout the entire year. And this involves people. And when it involves people, they need to be trained to do what they do. And during all of the steps, if they are well organized, we can do this course of detection and problems that you see in equipment. So they need to be trained for that if they independently if they are animals or not. And please tell us a little bit about this follow up and training of our team, Paula.
Roberta, I think that everything starts with the owner, right? We see that you're daily there, focused, you're within the business, and without measuring any efforts to give the best training possible for all us business associates. We see that it's an important fact. So this training can get to people. And Giuliano mentioned very well, without the people well trained, we can't do anything. We cannot do anything alone. And this is happening with all of the trainings. And we're really focused on the people. And I believe that's why everything works, is starting with you, believing in the people and the process and making this to happen. So the results are the people that are bringing us and with the focus on managing on people.
So we're going to invite people to participate here with us with a leadership in the laboratories. Camila, good afternoon. Tell us a little bit about your team, how you work to be always happy and give the best result with the best emphasis on efficiency. And we have the best experts, everyone to give this guarantee, right? Yes, we have a team that is very competent. We have many masters and PhDs who have their expertise. We have a clinical pathologist. We have people from microbiology. We have people that deal with the serum. And each one of them is in their area of expertise to do their best for the diagnosis. And we have a very intense routine. We work on Saturdays, Sundays, holidays, and in the laboratory, it always needs to be this way. We can never stop working because we want to offer the best and want to do the best. Exactly. To show that a milk farm in the laboratory, it can't stop. It needs to be every day, and there are people there every day. So there's always, if a producer needs an emergency, for example, there is always someone there to help them whenever they need. That is a need that I felt as a producer that I didn't see that in the market before. So it's important for you to be able to have someone to count with and to count on. So for you who is watching us here in Expo Genetic, please talk to us and come to Floresta Farm because this is going to be really important for us. So please schedule with us. Following, we're going to show the laboratory in the farm and tell us a little bit about our story.
To see the project from one end to an end, we're moved by milk, innovation, technology. We face challenges and we make the most of opportunities. We believe that reaching excellence takes intense days, but it is a rewarding task. For me, it's basically a dream. I've been working with milk for many years, and due to the organization of the farms and the results, and Roberto, the property, the owner, and it's a very good farm to work with. Producing milk with economic sustainability, social and environmental sustainability. Every day we take new steps, we open paths for the future with actions from the present. It's not today that Forest Farm has a look to the future, year after year evolving, with a purpose that is clear to become a global solution in terms of genetic production of Girolando and Girleiteiro breeds of high performance. Forest Farm makes available embryos of cows with proven efficiency. Besides embryos, we sell heifers and calves and everything ready to aggregate milk and genetic to the properties of our clients and partners. A lot of people look for the cattle here because they're very really good. We have amazing results on average 25 liters per cow and pasture with very little with supplementation. All of it draws attention because nowadays in Brazil, it's this situation and culture of forest farm always thinks about confidence, security, and the best results for our clients. Discover the concept of forest to produce genetic farm forest. Sustainable genetic.
The differentiator of our farm is that we can do the in vitro reproduction and the sanitary measures, the health system is something that we really think about. So Camila tries to bring the best for the producer to have all of the guarantees and warranties for the market. Dr. Camila, that is what we do, right? For the producers of Brazil and for ourselves. So tell us a little bit about the volumes of exams and reproductions in vitro. Today, we attend not only the demands of the farm itself, but we have producers that use our laboratories of production in vitro and also the diagnosis laboratory. So we help many producers, not only in the state of São Paulo, but also from many other states that are spread in Brazil and abroad. And besides the diagnosis, to talk about something that we do the most in these big animals and what we are demanded for, and the importance to have all of this diagnosis. Now, in serology, what we do the most in the cattle raising is the panel of sanitary control. So, the BVD, the IBR, Klepto and Neospora. Those are the agents that we search for the most, and a little bit of diarrhea and respiratory panel. When we talk about calves, that's important. That is one of the demand, especially for production of milk. And we have a huge demand when it comes to research on the culture and antibiogram to identify the different agents and what is best to combat, for example, our different diseases. We do more or less 1,500 diagnoses per month, so we are able to have the best the bovine in Brazil, cattle in Brazil. When we implemented the laboratory, a few differentiators that we had took place, right? And the pathogenous diseases really make us aware of that. So can you tell us how that modified our routine with the vaccines?
Well, after that we got close to the lab in farms, it was a lot easier for us to get the diagnosis and for us to know why and to get deeper. And considering these results, to take the best measures. It's best vaccine, use the best vaccines, or even to have a treatment that is more effective. We also managed in the lab to eliminate or got rid of the animals, and which was a big bottleneck. And all of this, we're looking for more productive animals and always to providing the clients what's best and more healthy, right? For example, in the auctions, all of the animals already have a certification that was granted by a lab access that that animal is not BI. So even for people who are buying that genetic forest farm, is that is being very well served. They are buying and they can have the guarantee that they are getting a healthy animal and going back to the genetic, it's so rewarding after an auction and observe that, and then now the cow is even producing more, you know. So I believe that the genetic is part, and this part walking hand in hand. This is very important. I believe that the farm is providing quality of genetic, and sanitary measures for the client who buys.
Yes, for sure. And it's important for everyone that deals with exports because the international market have demands in the market and they can see that we're following all of their ISOs. So for us to understand a little bit more, let's call for the other video about our laboratories.
To be a center of production and genetic improvement of breeds G. leiteiro and Girolando, to produce milk with sustainability from one end to the other. Evolution and continuous improvement are within our DNA, a journey in search of a model of a thorough work. HIPRO is the unit of production and transfer of embryos of forest farm. The experiences acquired in the activity made us realize that the increase in productivity of the herd is also associated to sanitary aspects. We broadened our acting with incorporation of the lab access, developing diagnosis solutions in trying to search and increase productivity. We evolved in the precision of treatments, reducing the use of medicines with gains in health and productivity. The Lab of Control of Quality of Milk guarantees the delivery of a product of high quality and flavor. Vetlins. The Vetlins is another business that Forest Farm aggregated to its group, an agricultural store that has opened doors to provide support to all of the rural producers of the region. We work daily. We created a business that is forward with respect with people and the environment and the animals. A farm that becomes what it thinks, what believes in. Forest Farm, sustainable genetic.
Our laboratory of reproduction, HEPRO, has an inspection that is done federally and that is demanded for the trade of animals in the internal market, and for the embryos the donors are sent to these centers that are in accordance to the rules of the ministry. This way we guarantee that you get the best sanitary and genetic quality in your product in your country. The forest farm also receives many interns that are at the end of their graduation in animal husbandry and agronomy and also other engineerings. And we have the coordination of the vets in our team, right, Paul? How do they do that in their daily lives this year? We are going to receive these interns from abroad, right? And Brazil is a reference, so they want to learn what they have, they can learn from best. And for you who is following for this internship, what can you tell us?
It's a very cool work, right, Roberta? The intern comes into the farm as if a business associate, like a worker. And each one goes to a specific sector, works between 7 or 8 interns a month. There are many interns there in the farm, and each one goes to a sector and they rotate. And they work along with the workers, so they have their time off along with the workers. So that helps a lot to the farm and also helps them because it's a practice and learning that's very interesting for them.
And now we're going to receive people from Latin America, and the forest farm is with their door, its door open to pass on the technology where we are the reference of Zibuin. And some are clients of the farm, and now they're going to be able to do the management on a day-to-day basis in the farm.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. It's a work that is expanding. Juliana is even studying Spanish, right, to talk to people from abroad.
Camila too, yes. The interns are looking for these laboratories. They are all doing this complete management in the sanitary area, and they find it really interesting that they don't have that in their country. So Brazil still is the reference worldwide about that, right? Yes, and the farm is a reference as a complex, and we do not find it anywhere else. We can have a laboratory of reproduction of embryo of both of cattle, diagnosis, and also a pharmacy and a genetic diversity that is wonderful for people to see here. So it's great.
Camila, you said it really well. When I was about to graduate, I wanted an opportunity like this and I didn't have it. So it's in a complex such as this, in a farm like that, it's really interesting for those who are learning and going into the market.
And what's wonderful about that and what makes us really proud to participate in this project is not only offering the genetic improvement, which is my area of work, and it's from the bottom of my heart that I say that, but to offer this genetic improvement with guarantees and sanitary warranties. So having this genetic anywhere in the world and Brazil is something that is amazing with guarantees and security. This genetic is safe. So this is something that is very beautiful and it's done by the farm and needs to be copied and admired, and whoever has the opportunity needs to come close and see it in person. So now, if you want to, you can schedule this visit in Brazil. Whoever is in the Expo Genetics, we are waiting for your agenda and please come visit us. Roberta, how happy I am to learn a little bit more about your work, but I know that it doesn't stop here. I know that you still have some auctions that happen every year and that we could share that with our audience. Please tell us a little bit about that. Yes, well, we have the as the best. We sell these animals in auctions. And the farm, we have two auctions yearly, so it's bi-yearly, and other auctions that are done in partnership with other producers. So there's always the opportunity of acquiring the best in genetics in Giro, Girolanda, and the national market. That is fantastic because not only today the Brazilian breeder can acquire that, but also the international one. He can leave his animals here if his country doesn't have a way of receiving these animals there, right? So there are so many opportunities. Look how wonderful this work is and how much technology and innovation there is. I was really happy about this internship that you offer. We always work with that, and I was in the technical area and trained interns at my time. So I'm really grateful for the ones that gave me opportunity to be an intern as a zootechnician. Just I am from the corral, just like the rest of you. And for us who like that, that is a great satisfaction. And you who are a undergrad in different areas of vet, zootechnician, and all of those areas, you can be an intern here in the forest farm. It's great. It's very good for us to produce what's best in a product that is most produced and consumed in the world, which is milk. And Brazil being the third greatest producer, that can really help everyone with more efficiency in the production and in quality. Please come with us and get what's the best and be part of this world because milk is what really hires the most in agribusiness. That is very good. And I feel so flattered when I see that there is an opportunity of knowing people like you guys in Brazil and having the opportunity to really make this genetics, this work that you develop, can indeed reach the other parts of the world, any other place in the world, to take this food safety and improve the social condition of their countries and to really make us fulfill this mission in our country, which is to feed the world. So I know that you fulfill this ambition of yours. Congratulations. Thank you so much. We are going to always be with our doors open to all of the producers in Brazil and in the world. But before I finish, Roberta, I would like for you to share with our friends your social media and your website. Yes, for sure. Our website is BB fazendafloresta.com.br. And in our social media, you can follow our work daily and evolution of genetics in Brazil. Great. Thank you so much. Receive our hug, and you too receive our hug from beyond. And our special thanks for participating in Expo Genetics. We still have a lot. Don't miss it. We have many other lives to share with you and the best of our cattle raising. I see you soon. See you. Bye bye.